Hey y'all, it has been a scorcher of a week here at Pemberley, Oklahoma. Every day has been 100 degrees, or if not 100 degrees, pretty close to it. A couple days a little bit over 100. So yeah, not exactly your favorite, my favorite time of year in the garden. But this week I was working in the back border. So one of the fortunate things about that is that there's an awful lot of shade back here until pretty much till noon. So early morning to noon, you can come out here and work, and it's really not that bad. So I broke it up in bits. I started at the sunny end and worked my way to the shade. And I broke it up in bits and did some on various days. And then yesterday I decided I just wanted to get it done. So I spent a little extra time out here. So we have deadheaded, we have weeded, we've mowed and weed eated the edges of Nutney Green and the brick that runs along this back border. So this back border is a cottage garden style, and like my pajamas, colorful chaos is what I want back here. This is a little bit wilder. It's not as formal as, say, around the front of house. So we just want beautiful color all season long, and we really like to have seasonal color starting as early as possible in late winter, early spring, going all the way into fall. So summer we do pretty good, but we want to extend it for as long as we can. It has been hot, so there are a few things that are starting to look a little a little tired. But yeah, all in all, it's looking pretty good. So I am going to just give you a little tour, a working garden tour of what is going on back here. And yes, I am staying in my pajamas and my sloggers because, as I said, I did work a little longer out here yesterday just to finish up. So I don't have anything to do in here today. I could if I see something needs deadheaded or weed, yeah, I'll pull it. But yeah, for the most part, we're just going to do a tour and enjoy it. So I thought this time we would start at the down here at the shady end. I tend to start at the sunny and work my way this way, but let's start at the shady end. It's still pretty early in the morning and overcast, so the whole garden is fairly nice. So we're at the back of our property over there. That is our neighbor's pasture. So they have cows in there. So here we are in the shadiest of corners. Now, my fern is struggling, and it's been hot. It's been like 104. So, and I've kept it watered. So I think it will be fine if once the it cools back down. And then this little thing here, that was that wintergreen that I had on the front porch, and those never have survived for me in through an Oklahoma summer, so it's fine. But look at the camellia. The camellia is looking lovely. Lots of new growth, very green and pretty. We've also our what is that? Heuchera, black pearl heuchera. It was a little tatty. We trimmed it back. I think it'll be fine. And the ajuga is looking just so good in here. It really likes this spot. I have some down at the other end that is not as happy, and I think it's just getting too hot and too much sun. So yeah, things are looking good right through here. We trimmed all the impatiens back. They were getting a bit leggy. We had another round of forget-me-nots, so I love them. So I hope they go to seed and come back. And just some various ground covers that we have put in there. And this lemon coral sedum, oh, I love it. I would love to have it all down the edge here. This area we didn't do a lot to. This is the irises and daylilies, and yeah, they need more cleaned out, but I also want to get in there this fall and do some dividing and whatnot. So I decided I'm just going to let this be. I kept the weeds down. You know, daylilies are dying back because it's been so hot. And, you know, once it cools down a bit, I'll get in here and really do something with that. But for right now, I'm just going to let that go. And then this area, same thing. We've got a few shrubs in there. We added an oak leaf hydrangea and Aphrodite, well, what is that? Sweetshrub? Yeah, Aphrodite is the name though. So the same thing here, this kind of same, we trim stuff back, but we're kind of just letting this go. We also have a really big stand of parsley, and there are caterpillars on that, so we're letting that go. This pokeweed is very tall, and we're just leaving it for the time being. It's taking up some space, and you know, eventually we'll pull that out and plant something. And then we have a red hydrangea back there that has not bloomed, so I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, this end we're just kind of leaving it rather wild and just letting it go. Now, Nutney Green, I mowed it yesterday, and I have watered it a couple of times. We're trying to keep the grass growing here. Now here in the bed at the back of Nutney Green, we did a bit of trimming on zinnias. The ones that were flopping and laying sideways, we tried to trim those up. We are getting a bit of dieback down at the bottom, and I was not going to go through and try to like clean every little bit of that off. From a distance it looks pretty, and there you go. So gorgeous zinnias in through here. So like I say, I trimmed a few out, and seed heads, I just dropped them on the ground so they can come back next year. The hydrangeas, I still need to take that tag off of that one. Sweet Starlight. So that one's looking a little bit sad, but as I say, it has been so incredibly hot that we're all just sagging in the heat. We're all just sagging in the heat. So, oh, piece of grass I missed. So when I say that, you know, whenever I'm walking, if I see grass or something in the flower bed, I do pull it. But look at that. I love the color they are turning to. And is that some sort of bug on there? But yeah, I love, even as they fade, such a gorgeous bloom. Really, really loving those. And then the pentas are still looking good. You can't see them much now. And we've got some mums and things in here. So for having been 100 degrees for several days, things are looking good. And my little seating area, look at this begonia. Also, I get a sip of tea. Look at this begonia, so happy. Oh, so happy. That is just stunning. It's taking over the whole table, and I'm completely fine with that. So let's move on to here. So this section is where we have put our amaryllis for the summer. And we have up, grass, no grass, no grass. That is Chardonnay pearls. That's the variety name. I don't remember the plant name, but that's a nice little shrub. I like the chartreusey green of it. A peony that hasn't bloomed. An oak leaf hydrangea I've just put in. And another hydrangea. They're not blooming here. I guess they're getting too much shade, so we may have to do some moving of that. And we did trim the impatiens back here as well, because so they'll put on some new growth. And the honeysuckle just grows wild, and I just let it be. And we have a few zinnias in here. The red cascade rose is done blooming. It's got a bit of yellowing leaves on it, but I haven't been fertilizing anything because it's been 105 and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to fertilize roses when it was 105. So, yeah. This mum, ooh, this is left from Sam and Jen's uh, wedding party that we hosted. I had a ton of, it was in September, October. Yeah, it was in October a couple of years ago, and so I just filled the patio and the house and all around the house with mums and whatnot. And so these are some I had in a hanging basket, and they just have come back and looking lovely. Shasta daisy. And this is where the ajuga starts to struggle. That one's looking pretty good, but like snowball bushes in there. See, like that one, we're getting kind of some spreading out and looking funky. But I think once we cool down, it'll come back. And these are crinoline lilies, and I've moved them umpteen times from the old garden to this garden to a different spot in here, and they were in a container for a long time. So they have not bloomed. I'm going to let them go. I think they just need some time to settle in. Another mum. And yeah, see, this ajuga is looking a little tatty. But yeah, this whole area is looking a little tatty. Love, 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 love the color on that hydrangea, but it hasn't bloomed yet, and it didn't bloom where I had it before. So yeah. Now I don't get too concerned about. See, these are some daylilies that are kind of just fading away. I don't get too terribly concerned about the fact that some of these perennials look like they're about to go dormant, because I think that if I remember correctly, reading somewhere, Redbud, reading somewhere that that's a way that they save themselves. They just shut down and say, we're done for this year, we'll come back next year. So yeah, see, ajuga down here, not happy. Same thing with the irises here. We didn't do too terribly much to them. You know, from a distance, they don't look bad. When I'm sitting on my patio or book porch and I look out here, things look good. Another rose that's struggling. So many roses struggling. My Jane Magnolia is looking good, and I swear that's a bloom. It did that last year. It bloomed a couple of spots. I mean, doesn't that look like blooms? Oh my goodness. It did that last year. It put out a bloom at a weird time, but we shall see. We shall see. Oh, do not slide down the hill, Annie. And this zebra grass is starting to put on blooms. This was here when we moved in, and I have just left it. I'm not usually a big fan of grasses that die back and look kind of sad in the winter, but this particular one looks really good most of the year, and I like these little seed heads, and I will use them in fall arrangements. So we are down to the sunny end of the garden, of the back border. Zinnias are looking nice. We do have to keep up on the watering. We'll talk about that in a minute. Angelina sedum, I'm having some dieback there, but that's newly planted. I think it will come back and be fine. What do we, this sweet potato vine, which one is, oh, I left my tag. Proven winner, Shadow Storm. That one's looking pretty good, and it's starting to spread down the hillside. That would be awesome. And then we have more salvias. This little sunflower. Now, everything is getting a little bit have been chewed on a little bit, but this Raised for Days, I think it's a false sunflower. Let's see. Raised for Days is a perennial. What zone is it to? Hardy to zone 3 to 9, mid to late summer. Large double flowers, golden, tall stems, zinnia-like appearance. Excellent heat and drought tolerance. Deadheading is helpful but not necessary. But anyhow, I really like this one because, you know, it's yellow and it's cheerful. Such a good bloom. Oh my goodness. And my Rose of Sharon, it too has been eaten on, but it's about to bloom. Let me get around here without stomping on anything, breaking anything. This right here is, what was that? It's that one that was so tall and floppy, I whacked it back to the ground. And it's coming along nicely. Oh, my mind just went blank. I will put it on the screen. But it is bee balm. Bee balm, that's what it is. That's the bee balm that was huge. We've cut it back, and the reason it got so tall and leggy is it had so much rain in the spring. So we are not watering it. We are leaving it be. Sweet little portulaca. And then, oh, one of my favorite zinnias in the garden. This big, beautiful, poofy one. Oh my goodness. And the Ladybanks rose. We eventually want to train it up this post. So we're just kind of letting it go for right now till it gets a little taller. And then we also have, what is this? Carolina jasmine. We want that to train up as well. And more grass. Yeah, I weeded this the other day and it's always popping back. So, and then you can see down the little alleyway. Now that gets, I use the push mower on that. At this end, that's all you have to use a push mower. Further down, you can get the riding mower into part of it, so sometimes we do that as well. But I did the push mower back there just because I wanted to get it trimmed up. And this is an Abelia. I want to say twist of lime. It's twist of something. There's a whole bunch of twists of. That one I planted 2 years ago, and it is a stunt. It just does its thing and looks good back there. Yeah, it's happy. It's got new growth. So yeah, so there is the back border. Things are looking pretty good. I got some sort of spider there on that. I do love that zinnia. Now the thing with the zinnias, I want them to come back next year. So when I cut them, if they're seed pods, I throw them on the ground, or I will just like let them go to seed if they're where I want them to go, because I do want the zinnias to come back year after year and multiply. And our hardy hibiscus, it's got a few more blooms, and that one's probably the best looking one. It's had the least chomping on from all the animals, critters, insects, not really critters. Oh, butterfly. Hey, butterfly. Earlier today, there was a hummingbird that just come and fluttered up in my face. So there you have it. There is the back border. So let's talk about how we water this. Say hello to Tanker One. So this golf cart is very old. How old is it? I am not exactly sure. Himself probably knows. But I can tell you that it has a designated spot for a glass ashtray. So that says something about its age. And our hope is one day we would like to restore it to its full glory. It needs new upholstery. The back, the upholstery from that was just completely gone, and the top, same thing. So we would like one day to restore it to all its glory. But himself, the mad inventor that he is, he had some thoughts to putting solar charging up here. I don't know. So that's it. That's a himself project for the future. But for now, we are using it to water the garden. So let me show you the setup. So as I say, it was in pretty bad shape. There is a seat that you can put back here to make this a four-seater golf cart. But for now, himself took that off and he put some wood in here, and we have this spray tank. Now this came from Baumgars, and the only part that is left of what I think he bought from Baumgars is the tank itself, because he put a motor on it to so it would pump a little more quickly and a little stronger stream of water. And yes, he just happened to have a pump laying around in the shop building because he's himself. Um, and there was a spray wand attached that it came with, but it too was just a very thin stream, because normally people are using this to spray like insecticide or weed killer or that sort of thing. But we're using it to water. So himself has redone it all. And so he has also, put quick disconnects on, so I can use any of I have a designated spray hose for it, but I can use any of them from around the garden. And then also we have this, which is not a microphone. It's for when you want to deep water perennials or trees, and you want to like pump a lot of water out quickly. So yeah, so he's got all of that. And so there are remnants of irrigation all along the property, and what bits of them that we have tried, nothing happens, which says there's probably a leak somewhere. So to irrigate all of this, to use what's here to fix, it's a big project. And so I don't know about that. So for the time being, we are hand watering this. But Tanker One makes it quite easy. I also have 100-foot water hose, or uh, several connected water hoses. I can drag a hose all the way out here. And from time to time, I will do that when it's going to be, I did it earlier this week when it was going to be really, really hot, and I wanted to soak everything really, really well in advance of the hot weather. I will bring the soaker hoses out. But for the most part, when I am watering, I am using Tanker One. Now, as you can see, the grass is starting to die back because it's been hot and it's been dry, and we do not have sprinklers on our grass. We live in the country. That's not. Would it be lovely? Yes. Is it going to happen? No. So anyhow, let me show you. Let me put this GoPro on a stand and show you how this works. So we just switch it on. We have also, he changed out the hose and put a longer and better hose on here for me. And we have quite a little bit of length of hose because we can reach all the way up in here to Nutney Green. Now, it is a golf cart, so if we needed to, we could just drive it up here. But we've got enough hose we can reach it. And it does a really great job, and it makes it a whole lot easier to just drive up with tanker 1 and do a bit of watering. And as I say, he changed out the pump and to make it spray a little heavier. So, and it's 25 gallons, so I can get quite a little bit done. It's also good for just coming out when we're out in the evening and you see something one plant that has, is drooping a bit and you're like, oh, that needs some water. Well, let me just go grab tanker 1 and bring it around. So it's been really, really helpful. So that's it for this week's chapter of Pemberley, Oklahoma. I'm going to give these zinnias a little bit more water because it's going to be very, very hot today. And all in all, the garden is looking pretty good. Now, gardeners are notorious for, my hair in my face. Gardeners are notorious for saying, oh, you should have seen the garden last week. It looked really good. And that is true. It is true. But considering that we've had all these days of 100-degree weather, things are looking pretty good. Yeah, there are things that are looking a bit tired. I'm tired. It's hot. But when I look at this back border from the windows of the house, it looks really good. You can't see the bugs that have chewed on a leaf or the little bit of dieback on the zinnias and all that. So yeah, for the time being, it's looking good. So I'm going to finish up this watering and then I'm going to head inside and do some indoor things because it's hot. So don't forget to look at Flower Friday Picks here on Pemberley, Oklahoma YouTube's community tab, or you can find them on Pemberley, Oklahoma Instagram. And with that, happy Flower Friday, stay cool, and I will see you next week.